Hey y'all, it's Natalie for Not Just for Boys Kit Club today, and I'm using the Wild Adventure page kit to document some zoo photos that I've had printed for a very long time. So I was really glad to get this kit, and I hope that I can use the rest of it to get all of them done. I'll show them to you in a few minutes, but I'm also using this cardstock cut that comes from Not Just for Boys, and it is called At the Zoo, and it has the cute little animals on it. So I'm going to pick the cheetah print paper, which is called like the 4x4 cut apart paper, because there's 4x4 cards on the back. But I actually did have a pocket page intended for these photos, but they will mostly fit in like 3x4 pockets, which is what I typically use. So I probably won't be using the cards. I don't know, I might, but I just really love leopard print. So I'm just going to trim it down a little bit and put some pointed ends on it to give it a little interest. And that's going to be the paper strip across the top of my page to hold my photos and everything. And then I'm going to put the title across the bottom of the page. So I'm just using a pencil to draw lines to show inside where the paper ends, because I'm going to do a little stenciling. So the kit comes with these really cute Honeybee Crafts tropical leaves stencils, and it comes with these 2 shimmers paints. Now, if you're going to use the shimmers paints through the stencils, I caution you to not use too much water. So you do have to add water to get the paints to activate to be able to use them. But you'll see when I do that lighter green color that it was actually just a little too much water, because it'll like kind of spread underneath the stencil and not be a really defined look, I guess, is what I'm going for. So that dark green color, I didn't add too much water, and it's perfect. It's almost like a little bit of a chalky consistency, and I'm able to dab it on. I don't have to force it to go through the stencil, but there's not too much water, so it holds the shape of the stenciled item really well. So then I go in with the sage green one, and it's just a little bit too much water here. I mean, you can still see the shape for sure, but it wasn't like as crisp and clean as I was intending for it to be, but that's okay. And I did clean off my stencil each time because I didn't want to transfer any additional paint somewhere else on the page. I do like that these paints, they have the shimmery like finish when they dry, so I can put this splatter and the paint around on this background colored paper, and it shows really nicely. It doesn't blend in, and you can get that little iridescent look. So I just added some splatters around that area as well. Now I'm going to rough up the edges of that pattern paper, and I'm going to ink it up with a little bit of black ink, and I took it off screen and did a zigzag stitch right down the middle directly onto the page. You'll see here in a second, I'll flip it. Yep, so I did it directly on the page. So I'm just trimming the little edges. I like to keep the ends a little bit and just lift it up a little dimension. And I'm going to set my pictures on it like that. Gosh, this was like 2018, I think. So I took one of the border strips from the sticker sheet, the Echo Park sticker sheet that comes in the kit. It's called Little Explorer. And I'm cutting it apart to just put on different sections of this patterned paper. This one is going to be placed in between the 2 leaves that I stenciled. So what are we going to do next? Oh, I'm going to do a treatment onto the cardstock cut. I want to do an ombre look. I chose Distress Oxides in Fossilized Amber and Speckled Egg. Now, I did kind of intend for them to blend a little bit and give me a green, because there's some green up at the top, but they didn't blend that well. I don't know if it was my color choice, if I didn't do a good job of kind of going over the colors in the very middle where they meet, because it is a kind of a delicate cut file, so I was trying to be really careful and not like rip anything. But they didn't really create a green, but that's okay. They still work, and the blue color and the yellow color did come from the pattern paper, so they do exist in the layout in other places. So I'm also going to distress my Distress Oxide, so I'm using some clear water and just using a clean paintbrush to splatter the clear water on. I didn't want to distress a lot, but I did kind of mop up that water with the paper towel to kind of make sure it got a little bit of a mottled look. But I'm going to set it down there, and I'm going to add a little bit more to it. I pulled out, well, we'll talk about that in a second, but these are from the Essentials kit. And they are these adorable little wood grain monstera leaves, and I'm going to just sprinkle those around the page to embellish. And they have all the colors that are in the papers that I chose. And I also pulled out these small Pink Fresh Studio mini puffy alphas that are from a previous kit, but they're green, and so they match the greens above. And I'm gonna add them to there are all of the other photos I've had printed for forever. So you can see I kind of was intending to do a couple of 12 by 12 pocket pages. But anyway, I'm gonna pull out those puffy alphas because those are gonna add the green to the title down below that I intended for the distressed oxides to blend and create. I pulled out a new Big Mama foam roll, and I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of these two photos and pop them up on top of the background paper strip here. And I will also use my Nuva adhesive to adhere down all those small puffy alphas above the cut file because I don't want anything falling off in my page protector over the years. I am going to use the sticker sheet, but that's a sticker that I would never really use much. One that says "Be Brave, Little One." It's just something that I don't see myself using, but I like to make them work for me, you know? So I decided to cut the leaves off since I'm using a lot of leaves on this layout. And then I can tuck them under the photos in different directions so that I get the use out of that sticker the way that it will work for me. So always make sure that you're making your supplies work for you. And if you know that there's something you're not going to use, don't be afraid to alter it to fit your style or your vibe or whatever. So let's see, what are we going to do? I think we're going to stick down the title down below and just a few little clusters to include some other stickers from the sticker sheet, and then we're going to call it a layout. I'm going to link down below to the store, to the Not Just for Boys Kit Club store. There are still a few wild adventure kits in stock, and also it's almost September, so it's time for new kits, and they're amazing as per usual. So check those out in a couple of days. I'll link it down below. And let me know if you have any questions at all. These kits are just, you know, first come, first serve. They're not like a subscription, which I personally appreciate. I don't like to be tied down to a subscription, even though they're all great, and there's never usually one that I'm like, oh, I'll skip that one. Like, they're all fabulous. So, but, you know, for money rise, or if you just have kits piling up that you don't always have the opportunity to use, I love that it's not a subscription, that you just get to pick and choose what you like. So I'm just using my Nuvo adhesive to glue down the wood veneer Monsteras. They aren't super heavy or anything, but then the Nuvo adhesive is really fabulous. It will pretty much, you know, stick anything down. And so I'm pretty sure they have that in the store as well. So if you haven't tried that, I highly recommend it. I want the sticker to stick off the page just a bit, so I am going to add a little bit of that same foam tape behind it so that it will just kind of sit flush with the photos, and also the sticky not stick down below it on the pattern paper. And I'm going to add a kangaroo there because we have kangaroos at our zoo that we pet, and put a little snake up there because it matched. And I think we are almost done. So let me know if you have any questions about the layout or about anything. Again, I know I've said it before, I'm going to put the links down below, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you don't already subscribe, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button and come back for more. Thanks guys. Bye y'all.